Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're going to be doing a little unboxing and a little bit of a review and discussing this little product that got sent to me. Now, I have never used one of these before. I've needed one for quite a long time, especially in the shop doing metal fabrication work. I burn through a lot of drill bits, and today we're going to be messing with the drill bit sharpener. So I know you can do these by hand. I don't understand how to do it because it's a bit of a little, old guy trick. You got to have the bench grinder, you got to hit it just the right angle, contour it this way, that way. I don't really care to learn too much, honestly. So VEVOR hooked it up and they sent us the drill bit sharpener. We're going to unbox it, we're going to try it out. So let's see what we're working with. If you guys are anything like me, you're probably walking around whenever you go to the store and you're always keeping an eye out for drill bit sales and specials because you've always got half your bits are dull anyway. So we have the problem to that solution, or solution to that problem, yeah, with this. This is a drill bit sharpener, and well, it's in a box, so let's unbox it. So this drill bit sharpener was sent to us by our friends down at VEVOR. And if you're a long-time watcher of the channel, you may recognize the name from, maybe even some of the equipment you have, but they also did send us a DC TIG welder a while ago to try out. So let's see what we got in the box. We got a whole bunch of different stuff here right in the top row. These look like they're probably different adapters of some sort, a bunch of little boxes. But we're after the main freaking gold here. We're after this guy right there. Packaged up all nicely. Let's pull this thing out. Okay. Looking pretty solid. Feels pretty heavy, so I don't know if that's a good thing. So at least the construction feels like it's some sort of thin cast iron of some sort. So got more stuff there. And I believe that is all we have in the box. Yeah, so that would be an empty box now. Alright, so let's crack into this. Right off the bat, it's going to be hard for you guys to see, but in here, this is where the diamond wheel is. So I imagine these things and or this are probably the attachments to get the drill bit in there in the correct angle. So we're going to open the instructions because I am new to this, never used one before, and we're going to try and figure this out together. Alright, so we're going to start this thing off pretty simple. I'm starting to get the understanding of it. So to assemble this thing, of course, it's not plugged in. We're just going to get our first thing set up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use this drill bit because this one is pretty dull. This is my normal pilot hole bit or whatever, so it's one of my DeWalt ones, but yeah, pretty dull. So let's start with this one. So in this case, you're going to open your little flap here. This is going to reveal all of your collets. Now you can kind of guess on which size is the number. Is the bigger the number, the larger the drill bit size. So in this case, I'm just going to guess. You can see the hole in there. So this is a small drill bit. This one has a little bit of friction on it, so maybe, and it doesn't go through at all on that one. So we're going to go with this guy here. Now, this is going to be the collet sleeve, or this is the body that the collet goes into, I'm sorry. So, of course, pretty, obvious. If it's not, then you just put it in there like that, the tapered end into the tip. It looks like a drill chuck, and then the back end is threaded, as you can see, so that's just going to thread right into the back there. Now, this is where we get to setting it how far in it goes, because you have to have the correct length. It is not a guessing game. They actually have the little rig here on the left side, and this is what we're going to use to set the depth. So what we're doing here is we leave it a bit loose in here, and you can see the collet edge here has the grooves on it, like the flat side right here. So this is going to catch. This is going to be your catching mark for all of these positions on this machine. So it does slip right into there like that, and you'll see it sits flush when the grooves are top and bottom, whereas there is the gap if it's not sitting in the correct area. So push it all the way in, and then on the top side here, it is a bit hard to see, but on this left side there is this edge here. Now you want to line that up to where the edge, like the cutting edge, is against it. So if you do it straight up, that's not going to work because it needs to be parallel with the flat edges on here. So you're going to go in just like that, and then we're going to just tighten the chuck up. And now that it's good and snug, we can pull it out, and if we look at it, the cutting edge should be parallel with that. Just like that. You can see how this is going straight across with this line here. That's what we want. And this dial right here, this is to just raise the height based off of how big your drill bit is. So because I did the smallest bit, I had it all the way down. But if I did like a huge drill bit, you know, it'd be all the way up here. And the numbers on here correlate to the size of the collet that you're using. So now we get to the point where we are pretty much ready to put this in. So in this instance, you would now turn the machine on, and then you can see how this is slotted to accept the notches on this. So it will go all the way in like that. And this is how you're actually going to end up sharpening it, because again, this is where the angle I was telling you about comes in. So what you're doing right here is you're rubbing it against the grinding stone in there, and it's getting the angle that we need. And then, you know, once you hear it, you know, the grinding noise goes away, then you pull it out, you flip it around, and then you reinsert it, and then you do the other side until the grinding noise goes away. So this adjustment here is going to be the angle of which, you know, the cut is going to be made, and then we have this section up here. So up top here, this is the point grinding, point splitting, and you know what, to be honest, I don't fully understand what that means, because again, I am a very new person to this. You know, I'm not a machinist. This is kind of like machinist work, learning how to do this type of stuff as I've understood it. So I'm not going to pretend to tell you I know what this does. So I'm going to go ahead and read the instructions and advise you to do the same, but they are a little bit on the generic side, unfortunately, so I don't fully understand them. But, you know, nothing a quick Google search can't hurt. But again, this does rotate like that, and these pins do remove, and you can adjust them based off of how you need them for the angle at which you're trying to achieve. So the instructions does tell you a little bit, but not enough that I understand it. So all I need to know is how to use this stinking thing to get my drill bits to actually start cutting for me. So let's fire this thing up and see if it works. All right, moment of truth. See if this thing works. All right, it's actually pretty darn quiet, so let's try it. Maybe if I can get this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it says due to the noise stops, which it has stopped. Flip that around. It's much more intimidating to use than I anticipated. There we go. Okay. And the noise stopped. All right, well that's definitely done something here. So you can see it's got the nice clean tip on it. So let's chuck it up in the drill and see if it cuts. So I don't sound like a total dummy to some of you more experienced guys that might be watching this. I did look at what the point angle was supposed to be, or at least like the angle. So essentially from what I gathered, the sharper the angle, the more softer metal and woods, plastics, the more dull the angle, like 135 degrees, is for more harder metals like stainless and you know, stuff like that. So right now we are sitting at about 118 degrees, which I think is roughly a happy medium. So let's just dry it in some normal, you know, cold / hot rolled, whatever, mild steel. Just go over to the scrap bin over here. Just grab something at random, something, you know, I don't know. I don't have a lot of small bits here. There, we'll try this. This looks like some 11 gauge, I think. So drill just died, so let's use the drill press really quick and see how she cuts. Always make sure you got your safety glasses. I mean, that looked like it cut pretty smoothly. I mean, not too shabby to be honest. That's a nice clean hole, and it didn't give me no squeaks or troubles. Would you focus on this thing already? There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that did a pretty darn good job. I got a few more drill bits I'm going to sharpen up really quick just to get some practice on this machine. Now mind you, again, third time now reiterating this, I am a complete newbie at drill bit sharpening, so I don't know all the terminology. But that's what is nice about this thing, is once you figure out kind of how to set the drill bits up. So I want to also note that I had this off. So putting it all the way down, it wasn't reaching enough to go in here, so I just turned it to where it was like that, and I knew I had the number 4 to 5, so I just put it somewhere between 3, and then it it was kind of like mating on the bottom edge there, and it seemed to stick out a little bit further, enough to actually touch the wheel. So that's the trick. Don't just run it all the way down. You have to set it to the height of the number on the collet body here, and that will get you the correct height. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to try a few more drill bits and see what happens. So I know for a fact all of my Milwaukee bits are pretty much trashed, other than my 3/8, which is like my largest one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to sharpen up a couple of different ones of these. The ones I use most are like the 3/16 right here, and then probably going by the amount of goo on this one, 7/32. So we're going to try the 3/16. There's 2 of them in this kit. So let's go ahead and sharpen those guys up and see if they cut any better, because you can kind of tell in there they are extra dull. If it'll focus, please focus. There we go. Yeah, super dull. So here we go. I'm going to use that guy there, because even though it does have this thing on the back end here, maybe, it does have the through hole, so it will fit. So how nice of them to consider, you know, other manufactured drill bits besides your normal style ones. But if I can put this together, dude, my life is not working today. There we go. Okay, so shut that thing. Put this in here. So we're still on number, right about there. So that, snug that guy up. Give me my bit back. So turn the light on here just so I can see. And then, yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it. Okay, so here we go. It says to give it a couple seconds to balance out, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, let's try it. Dude, FedEx guy out there is bumping. All right, so just to be simple again, make the test consistent, use it in the drill press. So, okay. Oh yeah, no, that's, okay, I know that one was a really crappy bit before, so I know that definitely helped. That absolutely made a difference. That's half the reason I bought those Bauer bits, is because it was like the Milwaukee knockoff ones from Harbor Freight when I was there last. So this thing definitely sharpens. Test this one at the 135 degree mark. Now they do send you 2 Allen keys to take this whole machine apart. So this guy, I don't know how, which thing on here moves. Oh, the whole thing moves, okay. Oh, okay, so I get it. So there is an arrow on the front here. I'll show you that here. And the arrow is where you line it up. So we're looking at about 135 on the dot. So yeah, snug this guy up. This other one, and again, you can see, is pretty darn dull. So yeah, let's try this guy again. I have you here. So what I meant earlier by the height adjustment is when it's at the right height, you can't rotate the bit past it. So you go and you kind of hold it, and then you snug down the thing like this, because that seems to be giving me the best outcome. So yeah, just a little quick tip. So now that it's there, snug that up. Good and snug. It is in fact parallel. And then we will shove this guy right in here. Yeah, I can hear the grinding of it. I don't know if the mic's picking it up because the mic is on me, but yep. So let's hit it. And that is definitely, yeah, that looks about right to me. Let's test it. All right, dude, this is actually kind of cool. Like, I enjoy having new toys to play with, you know what I mean? Everybody loves a new tool. Oh, I'm just butterfingers today, man. Oh yeah, effortless. Okay, and there's hardly even any burr on the backside. I know you guys can't see that with that lens. But you see here on this one, there's a little bit more push through, and on this one, there's almost nothing. So I think the 135 angle is much better for, you know, the stuff I'm cutting. So if you guys end up buying this and doing wood, you know, you can do your own research if you don't already know what angles you need. But for me, I think 135 is a winner. But I think that was, I don't know, dude, I'm stoked on this thing. I'm pretty sure that's probably one of the better tools I've got recently sent to me. Not that I get a lot, but, you know, this thing works. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the video off here. You know, it works. It does exactly what I need it to do. And yeah, I don't see any real flaws with it. I'm sure some of you guys will nitpick and find something if you're a machinist or somebody else that knows more about these things than I do. But for what I'm going to need this thing for, it is fantastic. And honestly, the VEVOR stuff is pretty darn solid. My DC TIG welder they sent me, still working great. I just use my other one more because it's got the AC option. But yeah, no, their stuff is solid, and I'm thankful for VEVOR for working with small content creators such as myself, because I'm not the big YouTube guy. I don't have 1, 2, 500,000 subs, so I don't get all the brand deals and all the, you know, crazy stuff like that. So it's extremely cool that these guys work with people such as myself. So if you guys want to help support the channel further, you can go get yourself one of these things. You can get yourself anything from them, and I do have a small discount for you guys, and it will be in the description as well as the pinned top comment. And yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for spending some time out of your day here with me. If you are new to the channel, hopefully you know want to stick around and subscribe. And yeah, anyways, guys, do what you love. Forget about the rest. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.